well, ahead of the Olympics opening ceremonies, of course, and with all the hockey rivals, the Four Nations Face-Off goes beyond the game, offering behind-the-scenes look at last year's really riveting tournament where hockey became a window into culture, politics, and, of course, Canadian national identity.
So let's take you live now to
Wasn't the
CP20.
Olympics, but it felt that big.
The wait is over.
It's been a really long time. We need to get best on best back at those big games where it's country against country and it becomes more than hockey.
Opening night of the Four Nations face-off.
I've watched all you guys lay in traffic for each other. Now go lay in traffic for your country.
Wayne Gretzky, he's put himself out there, and he's done that for the country and for the game.
Okay, let's take you live now to CP24's Gian Lee, who's with former NHL star and executive producer PK Subban. Good morning, G and PK.
Good morning, Jen. Good morning. That's right. We're here joined by PK Subban, superstar NHL player. And yes, you play a role in this incredible documentary. How much fun was it to be a part of something like this?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know, when I started my production company a few years ago, it was to tell stories that are authentic and that resonated with me. And this was something I was right in the middle of, in the thick of. I think we all were. So to be able to capture it in a sports feature and be able to show the balance between the political stuff that happened around it, but also just the game and where it's at was pretty epic. So I think people are going to get a great kick out of it, especially on the verge of the Olympics.
Let's go back to the planning process. Obviously, it sounds amazing. It's the first time we've seen this kind of Four Nations tournament, but then to see everything unfold in real time as you're shooting and become what it has with that magical moment of Canada winning in overtime, what was that like for you, witnessing all of that?
Yeah, it was pretty special for it to be done in Montreal with such a rich hockey history there in Canada. And to see the players, you know, best on best, it just hadn't happened. And for guys like Connor McDavid, who hadn't experienced it yet, was a big deal. You could see the nerves throughout the tournament, but ultimately, as a Canadian, what we saw the most is that we're still the best. But we also recognize that the other countries aren't far behind in Team USA, which will make it really interesting going into the Olympics. But certainly for future events, whether it's World Cup or another Four Nations or something like that, it should definitely be exciting for the future of the NHL.
Okay, so in that moment, as it goes into overtime and you're watching everything, and it could go either way because both teams were amazing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Connor makes that goal. What went through your mind at that time?
Well, I mean, Mess and I were kind of like standing there being like, man, like this is like what's happening here, you know? Like, you know, Biddington has to make 2 huge saves and but Canada, for me, it was the patience. You know, it was that patience that, you know what, we know we're the best. We know what we have to do. We've been here before, and we know how to get it done. And I think that that's how this team has been built going into the Olympics. They wanted guys that have been there before because, you know, all the other countries are skilled too. Yeah. They're all talented too, but the differences between Canada and everybody else is that when the game gets tough, no one gets tougher than us, and we know what we have to do to win, and they showed that again at the Four Nations. And as a Canadian, we know that they'll show it again at the Olympics. So let's go.
You are so talented. So I love the fact that you've entered into this world of TV production.
Yeah.
And then you're also a sports analyst. You're
Yes.
busy. And then I had mentioned, like, you need to do something with fashion because you're so fashionable.
Well, you know what? I think that it took some time. You know, when you retire, there's a lot of things that you could do, and you know, I definitely had a lot of things I could probably get involved in, but I wanted to take the time to do the things that I'm passionate about, and everything I'm involved now is a passion project, including being an analyst on ESPN. I love the game. It allows me to stay connected to the game and the players, but more importantly, uplift them. You know, they're the product. They're the guys that have to go out and drive us and drive the bus, but you know, our job as analysts is to uplift them and sell the game and be objective at times, which isn't always easy for everybody to hear, but it's important. So, but on the fashion side, there's no question. You see where the game is now with how the players are dressing coming to the game. I got some questions on some of the outfits that guys will be wearing. We'll get into that in the second half and down the stretch. But I think the game is at a great place, and fashion, philanthropy, sports and entertainment have always been things that are at the forefront for me. So I look to dive into that more. And I'm working on some stuff with the CBC that's already been kind of green lighted for the next couple of years. But there'll be many more projects, especially in the media space. So.
Amazing.
Exciting.
And then I just shared something with you that many people might not know. We both have something in common. We're both from Rexdale.
Rexdale, you know what it is, man. I mean, I feel like, Rexdale's finest, always finds their way, and here we are, right?
So, and I love the fact that...
And my man's from Rexdale, too.
Even our cameraman, Albert, is from Rexdale. And I love the fact that this is what you do. You don't forget where you came from. You're always mentoring. You're always helping young people and inspiring them. And this is what I love so much about you.
Well, I think it's important to set examples. Everybody can go and talk, but what are you doing? What time do you invest? If you can give money, are you giving it? And then leadership is allowing people to be themselves as well and have a perspective. And I've always been someone who believes in that, in being yourself. And it's also like this too. The past is I think they say the past is anxiety, the past is depression, the future is anxiety, and the present's the gift. That's why they call it the gift. So I try to stay as present as I can where I am in life, and I am where I am now. I'm no longer on the blue line, cracking skulls. I'm here making sports features.
Well, I'm so glad you joined us. Congratulations on this. It's Rivals, the Four Nations Face-Off. You definitely want to watch it. And please join us again when all your other projects come to fruition.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.